So the step one, what you have to do is set your vision and mission. Set where exactly you are going or you want to go. What exactly you want to do in your practice. How you want to impact people, or how you want to build a legacy for yourself. Set your vision and mission. This becomes uh, the destination that you want to reach, so that in the next coming steps you will prepare a roadmap to reach that place. Right? So the first step is going to be vision and mission. And I want to have one thing in mind: the vision has to be a emotionally charged mission that will inspire you to take action. So for that to happen, you can have your personal vision and your practice vision. Align your personal vision with your practice vision, which will help you to keep going. Because what happens is, when there is misalignment in personal vision and the practice vision, um, you may not have the motivation to take that step. You should be having that hunger and fire to grow. So set your vision and mission. That is the first step. The next step is going to be you analyzing your practice. The first tool which you can use to analyze is SWOT analysis, which is strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. You'll be getting the free resource. You'll be getting, if you stay till the end, I'll be sharing you with a Google form. You'll be getting the PDF format, a guide of how you can go about with SWOT analysis. So strength, weakness, opportunities, or threats. So what are the strengths you have? It's for you and your profession, your practice. You should do 2 SWOTs for both you and your practice, so that, as I mentioned, you have to be aligned with your practice, because you are the mirror reflection, or your practice is the mirror reflection of who you are personally. So if you want to grow, you have to also grow personally as well. If you are able to see that, type me in the chat box, doctors. Right? What is the strength, weakness? What are the opportunities and what are the threats? So analyze your practice right now. And the next important step is doing the gap analysis. Now, you have set a vision, which is going to be the destination that you want to reach. And you are here right now, which is the current state. You know what is the problem that you have. I have told you what are all the challenges and what is the skills that you need to focus in order to go to the next level. Right? Hope you have noted it down. So the current state and the desired state. The current state you are in and the vision that you have set for yourself. If you notice, there is a gap. You are here somewhere and you want to reach. Now, this gap, when there is definitely a gap. To bridge that gap, you have to focus on acquiring the required knowledge. So make a note of what are all the things that I need to learn so that I can bridge this gap. Because it's not only knowing, you have to also implement. Implementation, I'll be giving you what are the things that you need to be doing. So the first is make a list of what are the things that you need to learn. That is the knowledge. What is the attitude that I need to exhibit in order to be consistent? Because as I mentioned, you would have set goals even before, but you are not able to accomplish that because there is lack of clarity or that attitude towards your goal. If you really want to grow, you have to become the person to grow. The person who you are right now, he or she cannot accomplish that goal. You have to become that person, which is possible through the attitude. So what is the habit, what is the attitude that you need to exhibit? Make a list. What are all the skills that you need to acquire? And what are the habits that you need to form in order to be consistent and in order to implement? Because handling this personal challenge is the biggest challenge, because you may be, when I started the session I told many register, but only few attend. Only few attend, but only few are participative in this. Only few are participative, and in that, only few will implement. Because it is going to be tough in honoring word to yourself. How many of you resonate with that? So you have to have shifts in your personality to achieve what exactly you want to accomplish. Because there is always next level growth. There is always next level stages of growth which you can accomplish. It is just that you have to first decide. You have to take the decision that I want to do it. Enough is enough. I have done more. I have suffered more. I want to doing whatever it takes. So for that, you need to become the different person altogether. So analysis of your practice. So you and your practice, you have to analyze both, identify what are all the gap that is there and what are the things that you need to do to bridge that gap. Now I'm going to walk you through what are the things that you need to be implementing. Step number 3, you have to create a business model. And here I'm giving you 5 P's. There are 5 P's in creating a business model. The first P is whatever action that you are taking, it is going to be patient-centric approach. Gone are the days where it was specialty-centered focus. Like if you look at the way hospitals were functioning or reaching out to patients, or patients going to them, hospitals were not reaching. Patients were going to them because there were very less number of players and the resources that were available are at just one place. That was scenario 30 years or 20 years before. But right now, patients have everything in their hand. So you like it or you don't like it, you have to be focusing on how to make your practice a patient-centric practice, so that 1, you will be differentiating yourself from others. 2, you will be impacting and influencing more and more people. If you are able to see that, type C in the chat box. So focus on building a model, building your practice which is patient-centric. Anything that you do, the first thing you should keep in mind is whatever the decision that I'm going to take, is it patient-centric or not? If it is patient-centric, do. If not, don't do. That's how you have to, even not only you, even your staffs has to start behaving, start implementing this into your practice. That is what is going to be a way, like I told you about the funnel, building that loyalty that is possible if your practice itself is a patient-centric approach. And solving patients' problem in every area that can be possible. The next is process. The second P is process. Setting clear processes. Now, if there is mismatch between what you want to do and what your people delivers, then whatever effort that you're putting is not going to give you result. If you agree, type me in the chat box. So your people who are there with you, actually speaking, if you look at the hospitals per se, because in hospital you have many people working for you, there are various types of people as well, right from the receptionist or the nurse or the ward boys. There are various types of people who are representing your brand, who are representing your culture, who are representing your vision, but they don't know. If they don't know, there will be a mismatch. You want to build a patient-centric approach, but if your staffs are not, I'll give you a small example. This was told by one of the like the doctor received a complaint, so I'm just sharing with you. The doctor, it's a big hospital. The this was experienced by a patient who the lady who was delivering, she was in delivery the pain, and she was shouting for 10-15 minutes, and there were two nurses, and she had taken the some premium plan in that hospital. So all the ambience was so very perfect, because that's how the couple had planned. And the nurse said, you have come only 10 minutes, still you have more time, why are you shouting like this? The husband was feeling very bad, because they don't want to hear such things from a, if I can understand, the nurse would have seen many patients like this, but for us this is the first time. And the impact, the person said, it seems that he will never recommend your hospital to anyone, because after paying, I don't want to hear such thing, because the hospital want to provide the best. But if the nurse who are going to spend, I think 90% of the time with the patient is spent by nurse, only 10% by the doctors. Yes or yes? So there has to be alignment. And if that alignment can happen when you have the process, and when they are also aligned with what you want to accomplish, right? For that to get implemented, you should have processes. And it's not just processes, you should have a mechanism of the measuring the outcome, which is to have the KPIs, key performance indicators. How each and everything, right from your receptionist, even your receptionist who is picking up the phone is selling. Your website is selling. You are creating that awareness, which is nothing but selling. You're selling your concept. You're selling your brand. So everything that you do have to be in alignment. It'll come under this business model where you're planning everything, and then it will be the execution part. How many of you agree that the analysis, the planning part goes 80%, implementation is taking action, and implementation is just 20%, right? The next is, the third P is PP, building a winning culture and environment. For whom? Who are the people? Your staffs, your doctors, your stakeholders, which is the doctors. If you have, now this will be applicable if you have hospital, or if you have multi-speciality centers where you have other doctors working for you, the consultant doctors who have with you, and other stakeholders, you have everyone else, including patients' relatives, patients' family, even they become the stakeholder, right? Building winning culture is how you make your staffs win, your doctors win, your stakeholders win. If you are able to build that culture, a winning culture for all, you will become the leader. So you coming out with the model which is going to be a winning business model. So third is the people. Fourth is the price. The products and services bundling. It's not just the product that you offer, the service that you offer. You can also productize, as I mentioned, using digital platforms. You can productize some of the services, so that you are able to establish a long-term engagement with your audience, with your patients. Handholding of them becomes easy, and focus on value over price. What is the value addition that you can offer, right? For the value, for the fee that they are paying, what is the value that you can add, which is more, which they think the perceived value, you increase the perceived value in the mind of the patients. Even if they are paying, they are happy with what they are paying. So how you create the value? We have a value addition where small things can add value. And the fifth is the profit. Yes, you have to be profitable, otherwise you cannot sustain. But you have to be profitable, not from the pocket of your patients, but by your operational efficiency. How you are able to manage your, because many the cash flow issue happens because of poor or efficiency, poor operational efficiency. So if you are able to tap that, or if you are able to fill that gap, you will be able to make more profit, right? So these are the ways that, these are the things that you need to keep in mind when you are building your business model. Step number 4 is implementing. Most of them plan, but implementing is the key here. When implementing, first, whoever is the stakeholders in this, you have to train them, you have to take them along with you, so that implementation becomes easier. And the fifth step is review. It's not just implementing, you should also keep reviewing how well it is done, because it is a journey. Growing your practice is a journey, doctors. It is not one time, it is not one day, 1 week, or it is a journey. But as you keep implementing all these things, business model, like you have to keep doing it every year, because there are so many things that changes. You evolve, you grow, because once you grow, you will have a lot more ideas to come out with, to implement in your practice. So you evolve. That's how you grow. That's how you see you are growing very fast. And you should have a review mechanism, because sometimes you may go offline, like the track, you may go off the track. So you can pull yourself back only when you review. When I say we have a review format, like 45 days review and quarterly review, weekly review is also there, daily review, but daily review is all small things. But what will happen is, when there is review and feedback mechanisms, you can always change. It's not like many of you would have noticed, like you will see the P&L statement once in a year, but it's the P&L statement is over. Like whatever is over, you cannot even change. But when it comes to these things, if you are able to course correct then and there, you will be able to grow faster. And some of the staffs may not be aligned with you. There may be misalignment, or you can, when you have a review system, when you have a feedback mechanism system, people who are not performing, you can make them perform, or you may have to let go of them. All these will be possible only when you are reviewing. You have to review. And once all these systems are set, it will become a machine where it will become an automated way of growth. Then you can scale.